land, know your prey.
I'm gonna have a shoe full of blood by the end of this, buddy.
Something's wrong, man, something's wrong.
You know what? No!
Whatever.
This is Mantracker, an elite hunter trained to track humans in the wild. He uses forensics and relies on instincts. His only objective? Capture. For the next 36 hours, Mantracker is looking to capture Jim and Nicola. They're just looking for glory. A fitness professional and ambitious entrepreneur, Nicola is a city slicker who doesn't beat around the bush.
I'm just gonna follow my gut, follow my instinct, and hope that it takes me in the right direction. Our chances of eluding Mantracker are pretty high. I think we're gonna kick his ass.
Her teammate Jim lives for the bush. A bear hunter-trapper, he's prepared to take down anything that stands in his way.
This is a weaker component than any animal I've ever been up against because it is another human. So I do say wildlife has the upper hand.
Seems like a good guy. He's, I think, slightly verging on insanity. But I think that may actually work to our advantage as we're out there.
If all else fails, I'll use this, and it does have the keenness and the depth for penetration, and I do believe that the bear will be in deep, deep trouble and wish he'd never met me.
These two have never met before, but they'll have to learn to work together.
We should be good to go.
I think we're good to go, Jim.
They're up against snow, sand, mountains, and Mantracker. Jim and Nicola are moving targets through the unforgiving Yukon wilderness. And in the land of the midnight sun, there's no cover in darkness. Mother Nature sets the rules here. The starter flare is off. From here on in, every second is critical as the prey try to evade Mantracker and make it to the finish, 48 kilometers away. The chase is on, and the prey take off through the bush with no plan and only one objective: get to the finish no matter what stands in their way.
A little harder for man and horse.
But speed leads to mistakes. More evidence for Mantracker. The prey need to strategize to shake their pursuers.
No, this is pretty tough for a horse to get through, for sure.
Mantracker races to the flare site as he tries to make up for his prey's 3-kilometer head start. Unlike the prey, Mantracker has no map and no compass. What he's got is native guide Chuck Hume to steer him through Yukon's dangerous terrain. The trackers blanket the general vicinity of the flare, moving methodically in a sweeping action in order to pin down a search area. They need a first sign that'll verify the prey's direction of movement. Like forensic investigators, they scour the land for any bit of evidence.
Here's one track. It looks more like a sneaker the way the design is. This here looks heavier soled, little coarser ridges back there from the heel. This is going to be a cinch.
This chase has barely begun and already a setback.
I got a bit of a blister developing on my heel. I haven't worn these shoes in a while. So I figure, yeah, see that? That's gonna be bad in a couple of hours if I don't take care of it now. Just gonna toss that on. I'm gonna have a shoe full of blood by the end of this, buddy. I'm good to go, man.
The clock is ticking and Nicola has to push on. Meanwhile, Mantracker has a lock on the prey's direction of travel.
So I think we're right here somewhere. We're just starting to lift up the side, follow the tree line.
The bush-savvy Jim relishes the chance to demonstrate his wilderness skills.
Is a broken limb on a dead tree's no problem, but that's a giveaway.
Thought you saw something there?
Just there's a moose going that way.
My feet are f***ing killing. I don't know what to f***ing do. There's gotta be a solution here.
The prey are wasting time with Nicola's blisters. Their momentum is non-existent.
It's too early for this shit, man.
This is called hoof ointment. Used to cure horses when they're injured in the bush.
What are you alluding to there?
Nicola's blister problem has allowed Mantracker to close in.
We ain't far behind.
You hear something there? Here, but I want to get off this trail doing this.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? No fucking way.
Mantracker has spooked his quarry.
I'll see how that works.
My heart was jumping. He took advantage of it. I think he took advantage of everything, and even things we weren't suspecting.
The prey need to think fast to counter the trackers. Jim comes up with the prey's first plan: split up and get Mantracker off their trail.
The issue of 1 step forward, 2 steps back was reversed. We got 1 step back and 4 steps forward.
Mantracker cannot locate a conclusive sign pattern.
Came out from below here.
The prey's tactic to split up, called bombshelling, leaves a puzzle of tracks.
Jim took off about, I guess about 10 minutes ago. He's got a compass, he's got the map. He's left me with his axe. I'm not stressed about it.
But the prey's deceptive strategy has backfired. They've lost each other.
Jimmy, where are you? Jimmy! Thought you'd lost you there, buddy.
Their head start is evaporating. The prey dodge the bush and head down to a river. It's a prime opportunity to leave an obstacle for the trackers. Their frenzied trail has led Mantracker straight to the river. Jim and Nicola need an advantage, even if it means swimming across the freezing, turbid waters. They have to lose the trackers by any means necessary.
Oh, wow. We get into a gorge-type situation in which the rapids were bottled in.
The banks are too steep, and the glacial river is too wild. The swim could cost them their lives.
Man, oh man. Let's go down on the other side and get your feet down there.
The only way out of there is back one of these trails. They've got to come right down here below us.
It's a dead end for Jim and Nicola. They're sitting ducks. The only escape route, back the way they came, setting them on a collision course with Mantracker. "5 hours into the chase, and the prey have made little ground for the finish. Their plan to cross the river backfired, and now they're walking right into the jaws of Mantracker. The prey are oblivious that only 200 meters and a small patch of bush conceals them from the trackers. But due to this steeply pitched ridge and the tree cover, Mantracker can't get a visual and turns back around. The prey are saved. It's a fluke, but they escape surefire capture.
Sounds good, all right, let's do it.
Coming up from the creek, we found an abandoned railroad track.
Although it took us more time to cover that terrain, we left absolutely no tracks because we managed to sort of slide along railway tracks.
I had a comfortable feeling that he was nowhere near us yet.
While the pair take the easy route, Mantracker's decision to stay high is paying off.
We're right on their asses.
Mantracker's got his sights locked.
Time to get serious.
From the rails, the fugitives are heading into exposed territory. But before the trackers catch up, they've got a tough ride down the steep ridge.
There was an opening coming up in front of us, and we thought we'd check it out.
Where we discovered a desert.
Cut a branch off a tree.
And swing
Drag it behind us.
That's what we should do as well.
Deceptive Tactics 101. The prey create a strategy to stall Mantracker. The desert is littered with old tracks, but the prey try to counter the trackers at every step.
There, he won't be able to get us now.
Their desert maneuvers cost precious time, so the prey pick up the pace as the trackers close in. A desert crisscrossed with tracks would usually mean headaches for Mantracker, but the prey outsmarted themselves.
We ended up in a small little desert, and for us that was a huge break because the tracks were easy to follow, and it was great going for a little while, and then they started to try and trick us. We've got 2 cut off little pine trees they've cut, so obviously they have an axe, and then they've taken them and dragged them across here, so now we can follow our drag marks. In some terrains, dragging a tree behind you is very, very effective. In sand, it's like somebody pointing an arrow and saying, "Here I am." They're both walking backwards. There's no definite toe kick, and the sand has been pulled from the heel back in the direction of travel. The steps are closer together, slightly staggered, because it's not easy to walk backwards. Let's haul ass.
We chose to walk at the water's edge to camouflage any tracks we made. So as we stepped down, the water came in and took the track away.
Looks like the tracks carry on over this way. From there on, it was very, very easy tracking. Had the wind been blowing the other way, there wouldn't be a track there to follow. We could lope along at a good speed, and we made up a lot of ground there.
I thought I heard a horse, but then again, I'm deaf in my right ear, so.
Nicola spots Mantracker. The reality of the chase hits home.
We saw the horses cut around the corner there, and that just sort of changed our plans a little bit. And we thought we may have been spotted, so we thought we'd best get off the main trail and try something a little bit different.
Once they got up high, we couldn't track them. We had to rely on seeing them.
They scale a jagged cliffside where they know Mantracker can't follow.
Horses, they're not made for going through that heavy rock. It's hard on their feet. The horses do have a hard time with rocky terrain.
After tackling the vertical slope, the prey suddenly hit a wall. The 42-year-old hunter is breaking down.
We were definitely negligent in our fueling of our bodies. Food-wise, we were running straight on adrenaline. I'm gonna take a cool down here. Things just started to go wrong for me. They just started to go all wrong. I just totally zapped for energy. Feels like it's my heart. That's what's bugging me.
He's relying on his basically body mass for fuel. Nothing with any carbohydrates, nothing for any fuel whatsoever.
Man, I didn't feel good. Something's wrong, man, something's wrong. Something serious wrong. I never felt like this before in my life.
Like, do you think you're gonna have a heart attack or something?
Feels like it's my heart. That's what's bugging me.
Still 18 kilometers to the finish. Jim and Nicola have gained separation scaling mountain terrain where the horses can't follow, but at a cost. Jim's body has shut down.
But man, I'm just royally screwed right now. Only fear I could say was having to quit, having to stop, or having to not continue the chase.
You should probably drink a ton of water to flush.
Getting old.
With her partner on the brink of quitting, Nicola urges the veteran hunter to push on.
I can't do it without you. You know, I can't do it without Jim, and I wouldn't want to do it without Jim. So Jim and I are in this together, and we went down together.
Jim's pride is on the line. He's come too far to give himself up to Mantracker. Jim is hanging on by a thread, but the prey keep climbing higher, banking that the horses won't follow. And then a lifesaver, a miner's shack, hidden from view over 2,000 feet up.
I just said, I can't go on, I can't do anymore. I was totally drained. It was a matter if I could refuel in time that it took to continue the chase.
15 hours into the chase, and the Yukon sun is finally setting. It's been a punishing ascent for the horses, and the mountains have swallowed up the prey.
We have to think of the horses, think of ourselves. If we lose a horse up in the high country, we're going to have a very, very hard time bringing a horse back.
The horses rest, and all Mantracker can do is scan for movement.
I don't know really is some huge rat shit, huh? We got our heads right near the rat crap, though.
We'll be all right. We might want to save that stone, put it behind that stove. There's a hole right in the bottom just to keep the ashes from hitting the floor and causing a fire in here.
That's a really good point, actually. You know what? It's probably not even safe at all to light a fire in here.
Well, we'll make a pit in here. We can do the same thing.
If we're making a fire inside, I'm sleeping outside. It's not safe.
Physically and mentally exhausted, this chase has worn the prey's nerves down to the bone. For Mantracker, this hunt has gone on for too long.
If these two think I'm going to give them a break, they got another thing coming.
.30 in the morning, and the Yukon sun pounds down.
Oh, let's get at it. Oh my God, my back. Oh. How'd you sleep? Not at all, non-existent.
Oh, I didn't sleep for 1 minute.
After a frenzied chase, day one, Mantracker's counting on an exhausted prey, and he's gunning for an early capture.
Oh, why am I so puffy?
What?
Puffy.
Jim and Nicola are slow to gear up, but there's no time to nurse their wounds. The prey's tracks up the Lone Mountain Trail have led Mantracker straight to the den of his quarry.
I can't do it without you.
The final day of the chase, and Jim and Nicola are at their wits' end. The horses are fresh, and the prey's tracks have led Mantracker straight to their night base.
We discovered the old cabin that they had stayed in that night, and there was a bit of moleskin, so one of them had sore feet. One hell of a bad time to get blisters on your feet.
The prey escaped the posse by mere minutes. It's only 10K to the finish, but for the prey, it's the most intense physical and psychological stretch of the chase. Mantracker spots the prey up the snow-covered rock face. All he can do is watch.
I don't know a horse on this planet that could have scaled up that snowy mountain with us.
It's an impossible climb for the horses, but Chuck's got a plan.
Chuck's knowledge of the area is very essential. You have to have somebody that knows the area.
The trackers take a trail around the mountain range, aiming to cut off the prey as they descend on the other side. With newfound grit and focus, Jim and Nicola have thrown off the trackers and finally have the edge. It's a race to glory with the prey on the inside lane.
We get up top, we were looking down over the Rockies. We were at the top of the world.
Nothing but panning views of the Rockies. That really did provide a lot of inspiration for us.
At this critical stage, with the finish in sight, every move the prey make is crucial. After the incredible high of the mountain trek, the prey crash down to reality. Only 6 kilometers to go and a fork in the road. 2 paths to the finish. The team is divided. In spite of their 2-day bond, there's no more compromising for these headstrong competitors. Overwhelmed by the fever-pitched chase, the prey's unity is on the brink.
You know what? No! No!
I thought we had to go to the mining
I'm
thing.
not listening to another word you're saying.
We've had a wonderful day. We've had some beautiful things happen.
I don't want you to talk to me.
Whatever. Nicola's got an attitude. I'm trying to work as a team. I'm trying to get it all sorted out. I'm just trying to look after her. I'm trying to look after everything. I'm trying to decide what decisions we have to make.
And now we're at the last leg of this race. We've got maybe 7K to the finish line, and we've lost our unity, we've lost the togetherness.
The prey are setting themselves up to lose this chase. The posse's rounded the mountain, setting their sights for the ambush.
So there's just a lot of stress, there's a lot of energy being burnt, and there's a lot of things going on.
And it's like, you know what? Now it's each man for his own. It's like, I'll see you at the finish line.
Compromise is not an option. Now they're looking to show up Mantracker and each other.
Look what we have here.
In a sudden turn of character, Jim surrenders.
He had nowhere to go, nowhere to get to if he did go.
I've been going hard, and I'm not a spring enough chicken to race any horse, so I'm busted.
One down, but Nicola is still at large. With bad feet and thin air, Nicola battles her pain, determined to escape the trackers. But there's nowhere to hide.
I used every ounce of my being, and by the end of it, I thought I was going to actually puke, so I had to stop.
I like the loud ones. Sometimes they squeal when I catch them.